I'm not here to teach you what to think. I'm here to teach you how to think. Next subject. Before we get into creative avoidance, now this one's going to have a couple of writing exercises associated with it, so let's see what we can do here. All right, something we call pregame. It comes across with your body language, your tonality, if she's heard you speak, even though she hasn't gotten to know you, the way you dress. Pregame is about what's going on up here. Before you even leave the house, if you've already got thoughts in your head that say, she doesn't really like me, I'm not going to meet anybody special, you kind of defeated yourself. You haven't even gotten out there yet, and if you're already screwed up in your own head, you have eliminated the possibility for some really great woman to come into your life. Before a great woman can come into your life, you have to first believe that a great woman exists out there. Because if you start taking that attitude of, they're all bitches, that means that when that great woman does come along, you're going to miss out on her. You'll only be focusing on the bitches, because in your mind, they're all bitches anyway, and you can't believe that a great girl could actually come along. You know how they say there's a self-fulfilling belief? This is what it means. If you're really serious about wanting to find a great woman, you have to believe that one exists. If you're really serious about finding a solution to a problem, you got to believe a solution exists. When I first started on this journey of trying to figure out my love life, I wasn't willing to accept what people were telling me of, it just happens. It's all natural. When it's your time, you'll know. That wasn't good enough for me. I decided that I have to find an answer, but before I could find an answer, I have to believe there is one. There has to be an answer. Am I right? I have no idea. Is any of my material accurate? I have no idea. I don't care. What I care about is that it works. So in pregame, we're looking at things going on in your brain. And for that, I'm going to hit something very, very specific. There's a little exercise in here called, why am I punishing myself, as part of pregame. Basically, I want to build you up inside here, so that way when you go out there to meet women and when you go on a date or when you're being introduced to a friend of a friend, you've already got this part figured out. So let's go to, why am I punishing myself? This one's going to be a little bit tougher. For those of you who are really facing your demons on this one and you need to stop, stop. Okay? Remember, I'm tapping a boundary here. I'm not pushing your boundaries. Punishing myself exercise, page 192. Please turn to page 192. I had a group of people over at my house. We were listening to somebody speak. I'm not going to mention that person's name. The guy looks at me and says, "Why are you punishing yourself, Frank?" I never even considered that some of the obstacles I had with women were because I was punishing myself for something. So he literally made me go into the bathroom, look in the mirror and say, why am I punishing myself? That's what we're going to do right now. Here's the way it's going to work. Now, I've given you a space in the book where you can write the answer on page 195. I'm going to ask you not to do that. Use the copybook and the scrap paper that you've been given. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to take a page in the copybook, put it sideways so you have more of a length. I want you to write 5 columns. Now, when I did that exercise, I ended up with 3 pages of reasons why I was punishing myself. I then called up another mentor and I said, okay, what do I do now? And he says, hey, Frank, you don't write 3 pages. You pick, let's say, 3 to 5 reasons, and then you look for the reason behind that reason, and then the reason behind that reason, until you end up with one unifying reason. So let's see. Some of the things I came up with in mind were things like